Hey, this is another one of my finished commissions, and if you noticed, I am talking during this. Wow, big shocker. Um, so this character's name is Frostbitten, and I was commissioned by one of my Discord friends, and she is a Goliath who, has had frostbite in the past. And here you can see I was really struggling with the pose and stuff. And at one point, I just decided to go to a whole new canvas and fix it up on a fresh slate, and then move that sketch into here. And as you can see, I'm getting all the basic shapes and such done. I try to have clear communication with my clients, and I send them consistent updates and ask them for if they need any changes. You'll see here in a minute I end up changing the whole top part. Right here, because she thought that the X bands felt weird, so I was like, okay, what about some sort of wraparound clip? And she liked that idea a whole lot. And so, just keep doing my dues, keep getting updates, keep getting responses and stuff. And so I don't charge for changes or edits because I think that's kind of stupid. I understand you're putting your effort into this, but it's your client's character. It should be how they want it, But that's my own gripes with some commissioners, I guess. Ooh, excuse me. And if you are also noticing, since I am talking with this, I'm learning editing somewhat. I'm trying to, at least. I want to make these videos a lot more enjoyable for people to watch, so. And also, it helps me for, when I'm going back through, since my YouTube channel is mostly an archive more than a social media, I guess. It's nice to be able to go back and remember what I was thinking when I was doing these things. And so, just to give a rundown of the brushes that I use on Procreate, because that's what app I use. I use an edited script brush with the Procreate pencil shape. And I can't remember the specifics of what all I changed, but I do know I changed the count and the texture. And so it flows like the classic script brush with some slight changes, and it has a perfect little texture that I enjoy. And as for coloring, I use a lot of the Select Fill tool, and a brush that I have named Unstable, because I have misspelled unstable, which was an edited version of a completely custom brush I made for paneling. Oh my goodness. So, if you can't tell, I have allergies right now. It's wonderful. But the paneling brush is mostly just very square and broad and bold. And then Unstable was just the unstable version of it, so it has less stability and less, in general, holding it together, but it's still very square, and I enjoy it quite a bit. So now we're at the whole coloring stage of it all. We've been here for a little bit, but this part took the longest for me, mostly because the colors were the things that had to be edited the most. Let alone all of the changes I did for it. It was also just a challenge for me to get the textures right, and try to interpret what my client wanted. And so my friend, she was saying she wanted everything about the character to be monochrome except for the prosthetic arm she has. And I don't know if you could hear that, but my dog just groaned because she's an old lady. And so I asked her if she had any references for what exact colors she wanted in her gauntlet, and you can see the dragon she used from Flight Rising. Yes, we are Flight Rising buds. Please check it out. It's like Neopets, but with dragons, and I love it. But I did struggle a lot with the gauntlet, and you'll see that here in a minute as well, because everything either kept looking, it just looked off, and so I kind of, like, she paid for a full body with flats, and I like to texture my flats. That means everything up before rendering, for me at least, and I consider rendering whenever I get to the lighting section of it, less than just the texturing section, as some people consider flats before texturing, before everything. I consider flats to be before lighting specifically. And so here you can see I've started struggling with the gauntlet already. This part takes me the longest. I go from painting the whole thing red or pink or whatever the color is, I don't care, and to dousing it back to the steel gray, and then trying to texture the gray, and then trying to, it became a hot mess. But I am glad that we got somewhere that both of us liked in the end. In, like, here in a minute, you'll see we finally get the texture we both were going for here, I believe. And then later, here in a minute, I'll also finish up the colors in general. And so another fun fact about Frostbitten is it was kind of fun to try and work around the fact that she doesn't have the tip of her nose or her ears. And so you can see in the hairstyle, despite it being open and blowing, you can't see her ear. It's because it's all scar tissue and folded over, and it's kind of really interesting. And I'm finally here to the final textures, the final looks. I realized that I had accidentally deleted the layer with her hair coloring, and so I had to fix that. And yeah, this is the finished doodle of Frostbitten. I say doodle, it is an artwork. Also, now you can see, like, I've got some of the images from production and stuff, and the final image here. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed.